1, 2, 3.
Get in there. Cameraman too.
Hang on a sec. Oh.
You get up there?
Hang on a sec.
Open the jacket.
Oh.
I don't know why.
Oh, because it's got AO on it.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Bobs. Nice to meet you.
Oh.
You guys be able to help me out with 10 seconds?
Yep.
I want to do like a pre-game hype with social media.
Okay.
Talk about the game for 20 seconds.
Help us level the playing field. Sign the parliamentary petition today to fuel the growth and fund the game.
We are here at Wembley Park, home of last year's champions Box Hill United. They will be taking on Nike Cup winners South Melbourne. Box Hill go with an unchanged lineup for the start of the round 5 clash. A case of what isn't broke, don't fix it, with clearly standout players for Golden Boot, Aaron Keat leading the line. Currently sitting in second place with 3 wins, 1 loss. They fight third place South Melbourne, who are undefeated this season. Justin Mikulev has had to make a couple of changes to his lineup though, with Francesco Imiano out injured. He moved Papatsanis Roach to the bench, with Serbian international Tyler J. Vlanic back into the starting 11. Mindy Barbieri and Heidi Dalton also reclaim a starting spot this week as well. I am joined this evening by Ellie Curlis. Thanks for joining me, Ellie. It's a special night here at Wembley Park. What else is on up for grabs tonight?
Well, thanks, Bob. Thanks for having me. So it's the Community Shield clash here at Wembley Park. And I tell you what, the rivalry is massive between these two clubs as well. So Friday night under the lights. What more could you want?
It's a beautiful showcase for Victorian football. Two powerhouses in.
Two teams that have done a terrific job so far, and this is probably the biggest test for both of them.
A huge call for Golden Boot winner Erin Keat on the ball as we speak. They'll get started. Box Hill with early possession. Both teams just trying to find a balance between starting as red-hot favourites. But we couldn't really draw a line between any team tonight. They certainly have their work cut out for both teams. With a long ball early on, cleared. Misha Westland, after scoring a brace last week, is on the ball early. Clearance from tonight's captain, Sophia Paliwoda for Box Hill United. Emily Collier, long throw in to Bella Wallhead. Wallhead back to Heffenden. Geo Candy in goal. Swings it out to TJ Vlanic. Eva Goodsmith on the ball, turning inside. Playing to Mindy Barbieri. And it will be a South Melbourne throw on the left-hand side. TJ Vlanic throws long. Pantazopoulos trying to win herself a corner, but great defending from Box Hill United and Sydney Minarik. Vlanic finds the feet of Pantazopoulos once again. Ball ricochets out for another throw. Early ball into Barbieri. She can't control, and it'll be a goal kick for Box Hill. Swinging the ball out. Paliwoda. Out to Tashtalia. Westland cleans up for South Melbourne. Barbieri. Out to Collier. Trying to play through the midfield, but Box Hill tight through the centre. Heffenden goes all the way back to Candy. Geo Canley, formerly of Melbourne Victory. They came over in the off-season. Mindy Barbieri on the ball at the top of the box. Ball in the box. An easy claim for Keely Segovic. Rolls in early. Perltine goes back to Segicic. Box Hill just trying to goad out South Melbourne. Similar stances against Melbourne Victory. South Melbourne quite comfortable in their opposition teams having early possession and forcing them to go long. Barbieri finds Westland. Westland inside. Ball bounced out through Schmelzer. Heffernan to Bella Wallhead. Vlanic tries to play it first time forward to Pantazopoulos. She'll give it a chase, but not in any speed. Sigicic switches out to Tartaglia. Can't quite control though. South Melbourne winning possession without much pressure at all. Those unforced errors will be something that Box Hill will want to tidy up. Very, very good on transition is Box Hill United. They seem to thrive on teams that put high pressure and try and force that transition moment to get forward very, very quickly with some sleek combination play in the front third, bearing a lot of fruit for Erin Keat in the last few weeks. Segicic just misread the wind on that one. Tartaglia caught now out of position, but she regains possession well, the young defender. Ball's played out by Chiara Burcelli. Once again, another South Melbourne throw.
I've been impressed so far with both teams. Both teams having a feel for it early, but something to keep in mind is this wind, and you think it's, because it is pretty swirly tonight, so both teams need to keep in mind of that.
I certainly do, and it's been on and off, hot and cold all week, so this wind probably be refreshing from the midweek 30s, but certainly much better than the rainy days that we've been having in the last few. So
typical Melbourne weather.
Typical Melbourne weather. If you were wondering where we were, it's exactly where we are. Peliwoda goes through Sekicic once again. Into Tyne. Box Hill moving the ball well. They can find feet. Bocelli keeps it in, but this time Tartaglia unable to keep possession. Collier with the throw. Into Westland. Tries to play the ball forward. Heidi Dalton on the ball. Westland gets a toe to it. Simpson on the run. She has pace to burn. Gabby Simpson tries to put enough pressure on. Wallhead goes on an adventure of her own. Wallhead trying to find that pass. Dalton inside the box. Stood up by Peliwoda. Once again, not diving in. Peliwoda forcing South Melbourne all the way back into the defensive line. Dalton and Westland try and combine to get forward into the front third. Clearance by Schmelzer. Schmelzer on the ball, surrounded by blue shirts, but she gets the ball to Vlanic. Vlanic to Pantazopoulos. Ball one back. Keat on the ball. Turns out of danger, tries to keep possession. Pantazopoulos once again catching a defender, win possession. Dalton, can she get her first of the season? Dalton, what a save by Segicic. Early chance for Pantazopoulos. She was able to force a red card last week against Melbourne Victory, set Melbourne Victory down to 10 players. And Misha Westland banged home the successive free kick. No goal after that pressing by Pantazopoulos, but South Melbourne certainly with the upper hand in these first couple of minutes. Keat back to goal, tries to find a through ball, well defended by South Melbourne. Heffernan clears. Goodsmith clears the ball only as far as Murakami. Simpson, ball into the box, cleared by Collier, only as far as Westland though. She can control. Get the ball to Dalton. Schmelzer. Back to Wallhead, just putting their foot on it, South Melbourne. Box Hill set up to press. Dalton back to goal, gets to Westland. Westland trying to find Collier but couldn't quite manage. Kawano inside, looking for the throw from Tartaglia. Goes down the line to Bocelli. Westland to clear. Cleaned up by Tyne. Tyne once again. Battle ensuing in the midfield. Goodsmith with great feet to get out of that danger. Paliwoda with the clearance this time for Box Hill. They'll regain possession through Bocelli. Back to Paliwoda. Segacic. Segacic just forcing play at the moment to Tartaglia. That's the second time she hasn't been under pressure and she's released the ball far too early. Collier with the throw. Down to Westland. Uses her body well, Westland. Can she win the corner? Great turn out of danger. Ball won back from Box Hill. Collier with the long throw in. Paliwoda clears. Dalton tries to get it to Pantazopoulos. This time Vlanic pulls the trigger from far deep. Clearance by Kawano. Heffernan coming to blows with Simpson. It'll fall to Box Hill, but only as far as the touchline.
Again, just both teams. I'm liking how Box Hill were applying that pressure. You could feel that for South Melbourne having to go backwards. Box Hill, you just feel like they're having their run for their money right now.
Certainly is a top of the table clash in second and third here, with Box Hill in second place with 3 wins, 1 loss. South Melbourne in third place with 2 wins and 2 draws, and they are undefeated to start this season. Haffenden out to Collier. Collier comes inside, tries to keep possession, tries not to force, but ends up under the pressure of Bocelli, sending it for a throw-in. Keat controls well. Collier back to Heffernan. She's got to go long. Ball foils to Teen. Murakami all the way back to Minarik. Simpson under pressure from Vlanic. It'll be a Box Hill throw. Goodsmith caught on the ball by Murakami. Murakami battling with Goodsmith on the sideline. Murakami able to come out with possession. Class work there from the Japanese national. Kawano sends in the backup to win. They'll look to win possession high up the field here, Box Hill, and transition as quickly as possible. Closer they are to the goal, the more dangerous they are. With deft passes around that 18-yard box, really able to put them through on goal. And one-on-one with keepers week in, week out in these opening rounds. Long throw by Summer Trask. Clearance. Tartaglia will have to regroup here with her back to goal. No pressure on the keeper once again from South Melbourne, allowing Box Hill to have possession deep in their half. They're looking for those unforced errors, goading them into one side before pressing. Pantazopoulos giving chase this time. She'll win it once again, high up the field. Though this time it'll be called back for a free kick. Segatic will take Paliwoda out to Tartaglia. Bocelli under enormous pressure from Collier. Westland just dragged back by Bocelli, and it'll be called for a free kick. Great work there by Collier to force possession to Westland, and then Westland smart enough to go down when dragged. Vlanich over the ball for South Melbourne. It'll be in swinging free kick here. Inclined to shoot from this angle as well. Ball into the box. Wynn does catch it, but Segacic able to be under it. Cause no danger to the Box Hill custodian. Early ball though from Segacic. Just catches South Melbourne out in that transition moment. They were able to clear, but only as far as Bocelli. Bocelli one-on-one with Collier. She's got an overlapping run by Murakami. Collier does the double run and wins possession back for South Melbourne. Industrious work there by the American. Collier having to do the double run. Wallhead out to Vlanich. Vlanich cuts inside. Keeps possession once again. Wallhead under immense pressure. Gives away possession. Kawano doing her best to give Box Hill every opportunity of scoring. Ball into the box. Clearance. Murakami gets ahead to it, but only as far as Heidi Dalton. Dalton comes inside once again, finds Westland. Ball over the top. No, she opts for Goodsmith out left. Pantazopoulos drives into the box. Great tackle by Minarik. Well-timed challenge. She had to be clear in that tackle.
Again, you can see South Melbourne there, credit to them, they're driving and running as hard as they can, but you can see already those Box Hill defenders, they're already back there. So really right now, South Melbourne need to figure out a way how to break out of that.
Cleared once again from Box Hill. This is a time where they're dangerous. Runners forward, pace up front. Keeps possession first. She's trying to find a teammate. She sees Bocelli out left. Collier in her wake though. Ball inside the box. Early shot from Bocelli. Candy well down to their left. Simple pass from Heffenden. South Melbourne opting for simple passes out the back. Box Hill quite comfortable in allowing them to play in that back third. Heffenden looks for the run of Misha Westland. Ball falls to Paliwoda. Tartaglia inside to Murakami. Keat with back to goal. Well defended by Heffenden. Tartaglia doing her own defending to regain possession for Box Hill. Wallhead clears to Goodsmith. Pantazopoulos looking for the switch. Can't quite make it to Westland. Collier with the header. Second ball can't be controlled by Bocelli. They'll start again here, South Melbourne. Schmelzer in the in the midfield, just doing some hard work. Be tough to keep an eye on both Japanese nationals. Seems to be coping well at the moment. Segacic out to Paliwoda. Paliwoda, Keat. First time pass out to Bocelli. She can go long here, Murakami, if she can find Keat, but the ball cannot stay in. Schmelzer. She has Vlanic to her left. Sitting deep, Vlanic trying to draw out that Box Hill line. Creating more space up front. Wallhead through the centre to Barbieri. Barbieri last season in the VPL with Keilor Park. Opted to come to South Melbourne in the off-season. Pantazopoulos battling. Falls to Barbieri. Cleared by Tyne. Goodsmith inside. Dispossessed by Murakami. Westland doing the hard yards in that midfield. Regaining possession for South Melbourne. Vlanic out to Goodsmith. Collier getting higher up the park. Goodsmith. Barbieri out to Vlanic. Vlanic with the flick on to Pantazopoulos. She'll find the through run of Vlanic on the cutback across the face of the goal. No one there to poke it home for South Melbourne. Now Bocelli has the chance to start this transition moment for Box Hill. South Melbourne have the numbers though, with Heidi Dalton doing the extra yards, getting back for her teammates. Box Hill will start again through Paliwoda. Tyne. Minarik out to Paliwoda, tries to find Murakami. First time pass from Barbieri. Westland gives chase, but Paliwoda will win that race. Trying to win the throw-in was Paliwoda, but Westland up to the task to dodge that one. Collier into Barbieri. Bocelli giving chase. Great turn by Collier to face forward once again. Westland doing her best to keep possession. It'll fall to Dalton, but only just to fall to Murakami.
Just with that passage of play before with South Melbourne, in attack there, you could see that there's not enough numbers around. You just got to think they've got to communicate a bit more in that forward line.
Murakami dropping deep to gain possession. She'll switch it out to Trask. Trask, smart work, keeping possession. Looking to switch. Paliwoda can creep here. She'll look for the long ball to Bocelli. Bocelli inside. Looks for the run of Simpson, but it'll ricochet to Murakami. Keat can control. Close ball skills from Keat. Well matched by Collier, formerly of Burundara Eagles. Gio out to Wallhead. Herfenden. Collier comes inside, finds the run of Westland. Paliwoda well read from Box Hill. Minarik on the ball, can drive. Trash back to Minarik, to Paliwoda. Ball speed from Box Hill has just meant that South Melbourne have had to try and keep compact. Collier cleans up for South Melbourne. They're all the way back to goalkeeper Gio Candy. Wallhead. Heffenden. Back to Wallhead. Simpson, well judged on that switch of play. Both teams playing the same sort of cat and mouse in terms of sitting back, holding off on the press, trying to force players to try and find that long pass, and then they'll cut it out. Vlanich trying to find some passing lanes for her teammates. Not much movement from up front. It's Heffenden. Goes to Collier. Collier drives past Burchelli. Strength from the American. Well won back by Collier. Dalton inside to Westland. Westland gains possession once again. She's asking for options from her teammates. Not many forward runs. Pressure from Box Hill forces a throw.
Just gotta love this pressure from Box Hill. Like as a defender, you want to not allow any easy space, and that's exactly what's happening to South Melbourne. They're having to reset multiple times.
Certainly a case of allowing South Melbourne to have that pressure, that ball possession well in their half, but once they get forward, double teaming, trying to regain possession, and then transition as quickly as possible. Keat tries to bring the ball down, but Schmelzer through the centre there. Wallhead going long to Westland. Tartaglia with the header, and the second, and the rebound, and the follow-up dribble. She goes out to Burchelli. Burchelli on the left. Only has Collier for company. Good defending from Collier. She falls on the ball. Handball called by the referee. It'll be a Box Hill free kick. First dangerous moment for Box Hill to open up their account this evening. Burchelli over the ball. Delivers. Flick on. Ball ricochets. Simpson has it at the top of the box. Keat fires off the left foot. Can't get quite enough purchase on that left-footed shot. Keat. She does have that in her locker, though. Candy needed to be set for that shot. They couldn't afford to guess which way that was going. Pantazopoulos drifts inside. Westland on the left now. Plays back to Pantazopoulos. Inside. Looks to switch. South Melbourne are pinning Box Hill in their half. If they can just get some meaningful possession and combinations without giving away possession. Vlanich with the overlapping run. Late collection will mean a free kick for South Melbourne on the sideline.
I'm really impressed with Panasopoulos' work ethic. She's trying to... I love to see a couple more of her teammates come to the ball, because it feels like right now they're behind the ball. So, again, give credit to Panasopoulos, but just the way that she's going about it, give credit to her.
Vlanich over the ball. Delivers. Segacic out. Well claimed by the custodian for Box Hill. Bocelli on the ball again. Tartaglia looking to go back. Paliwater drifts onside. Minarik into Tyne. Tyne switches. Gabby Simpson on the run. Wallhead gives chase. Simpson's trying to keep possession, not give away a goal kick, and it'll be a corner for Box Hill, the first of the evening. Murakami. Box Hill with a set piece. Into the box. Whips across goal. Great delivery by Murakami. No one there at the back post. Probably the pace of the delivery eluded all her teammates. Heffenden. Wallhead. Out to Goodsmith. Vlanich has drifted inside. Trying to create some space for each other. South Melbourne being creative and interchanging in play. Trying to unbalance this Box Hill side. Long ball, Pantzopoulos with the flick on for herself. She'll drive into the 18-yard box. Minarik trying to give chase. Drifts inside. Great recovery from Trask. Barbieri with the follow-up shot. Falls to Box Hill, and they'll go throughout. Bocelli on the right wing now. Trask all the way back. Starting again for Box Hill. Paliwoda. Collier, well read. Westland. Blocked from Murakami. Wallhead just a bit short on that one. Barbieri with the long ball to Pantzopoulos. She'll have the pace to keep this one in. She does have blue shirts all around her. She still delivers. Back post run from Goodsmith. Trask able to get ahead onto it. Clear the danger for Box Hill. Just hit the half-hour mark here at Wembley Park. It's still 0-0 with second and third on the table, respectively. Still at it. Great encounter for both teams. Long ball out to Simpson, who's switched sides. She'll go back to Tartaglia. Paliwoda. This time South Melbourne putting a higher press, giving them some regain of possession, but Box Hill doing well to come out with it. Tartaglia driving forward. She's got Simpson on her left. Simpson can drive into the box. She has Keat for company. Simpson onto the right foot. She can pull the trigger. Late tackle from Schmelzer, saving the day for South Melbourne.
Gee, that was such a beautiful drive there by Simpson. And gee, the South Melbourne defenders looks to sleep there. They just didn't. Again, that communication, but gee, that would have been a beautiful finish for Box Hill.
Real run against the play sort of caper, because both teams not putting such high pressure on, but once South Melbourne released their pressure up the top, Box Hill, they were able to break through that and then cause all sorts of trouble on the counter. Simpson with pace to burn, driving at defences, causing all sorts of chaos. It fell to her in the end, and that last-ditch tackle from Schmelzer really needed for South Melbourne. Delivery of Burchelli, flick on by Vlanic, clears the danger for South Melbourne. Third corner of the evening for Box Hill coming up. South Melbourne in a full zone attack. You would think a deep post delivery or a front post run might be enough to... Box Hill way too far away from the delivery. Their run's probably not going to make it in time. Beautiful buy by Murakami. Schmelzer once again with the clearance. The midfielder doing wonders in that back line for South Melbourne. Her work rate intensely keeping South Melbourne in the game with a clean sheet. Both keepers tonight not really having to make any saves, clearly, but their defenders doing all the hard yards, trying to stop the forward forays by the opposition teams. Kind of defending that you want as a goalkeeper. Candy looking for options. They'll play to their left. Vlanic comes inside. Surrounded by Box Hill players, but she gets the ball to Westland. If they can push forward here, South Melbourne, they have time and space on the wing, but options to go back. Too enticing for South Melbourne as Mindy Barbieri plays the ball forward to Pantazopoulos. Dalton is in the centre of the park. Pantazopoulos tries to find her. She had a sight on goal herself, Pantazopoulos, trying to unselfishly go for a teammate. Cleared by Box Hill. Murakami will pick it up in the midfield for Box Hill. Paliwoda resetting again for Box Hill. Murakami. Tartaglia drives inward. Westland giving chase, putting some pressure on that Box Hill midfield. Tyne switches out to Paliwoda. Murakami into Kawano. Kawano can't find Simpson. The positioning of Collier excellent for South Melbourne. She'll switch the ball to Dalton on a dime. Dalton takes a magical touch, but cut out by Summer Trash for Box Hill. She'll get the ball forward and out to the wing to Bercelli. Can't quite get around Vlanic, Serbian international. She's been on international duty for the past week or so. She's got off a plane on Monday and playing Friday night football. The life of a professional footballer never ceases to amaze me.
Yeah, give credit to Vlanic. I've been loving the way that she plays, and just as you said, getting off the plane, as you said, that's incredible effort by her. That's commitment.
It's exactly what international football is all about. You take it all in your stride, doing all the recovery to get onto that team sheet. No doubt South Melbourne would have had to have had her last week, but in the end didn't need her. Going 5-1 to the good against Melbourne Victory in last week's match. Simpson Turns out she can look forward here. She doesn't have much pressure on her. Opting to go back. Safer option. Paliwoda switches out to Trask. Trask gets ahead to it. Tyne with the follow-up. Once again, Schmelzer with the defensive work, but this time called back for a foul. Play quickly taken. Tyne can turn. Murakami looks to switch through Tartaglia. Tartaglia out to Simpson. Collier. Well picked up. Collier doing wonders on that right back position, but this time double teamed by Keat. Ball switched out. Goodsmith. Ever Goodsmith for South Melbourne. Minarik picks it up for Box Hill. It'll be Box Hill once again in possession. Summer Trask goes long. Well controlled by Bella Wallhead. Cleared by Kawano.
Right idea there by Box Hill, but Wallhead she read that play really well and just, again, those 1%ers.
Trask with the Box Hill throw. She'll go all the way back to Minarik. Back to Trask. Into Tyne. Tracks down the line, but Charlie can't quite keep it in. Blanich with the long throw. Trask will clear for Box Hill. Schmelzer with the double hand in the back. Kawano asking the question and receiving the answer from the referee. It'll be a free kick here just inside their forward half. Box Hill. Less than 5 minutes to go in regular time here at Wembley Park. We're still sitting at a stalemate at 0-0. Paliwoda delivers. Ball into the box. Pantzopoulos gets a flick on. Ball in the run! And then Keat, once again, comes to the fore from Box Hill. She had half a chance in the 18-yard box, and she's just put the volley right through it, and it's gone top corner. Geo Candy left stranded because she had no way in chance to get that. What a goal by Erin Keat. Once again, another team unable to stop this Erin Keat show in the Senol Victorian NPLW. Take a bow, Erin Keat.
And this is why Erin Keat did so well last week in that game. When she gets on a run, she's hard to stop. And Erin Keat just continued her masterclass in attack.
Certainly has. And she doesn't need more than half an opportunity. She's bided her time. She has played in the NPL before. She's gone overseas, plied her trade in the university college system in America. And she's come back and she's played in the VPL for a couple of seasons. And then, wow, has she re-entered the NPLW scene with a bang. She scored more goals in this season than she has in her entire career in the NPLW. And isn't she loving it? Dalton now with South Melbourne. No call for a foul on the 18-yard box. Barbieri picks it up. On the swing, tries to deliver her own piece of magic, but Sejic.
Try saying that 10 times there.
Segacic with the save. She can see the free player is Tartaglia. This time delivers on a dime for Tartaglia. She'll go long. Simpson will give chase. Back to Candy. This time Candy will go long to Pantzopoulos. Pantzopoulos using her body well against Tartaglia. She'll be taken down there. No late call by the referee. It'll be a throw-in for South Melbourne. Collier, Pantzopoulos. Murakami protecting the ball well. Paliwoda trying to find an option through midfield, but she opts to go long. Heffenden with the header. Schmelzer through the middle. South Melbourne. This time Simpson tries to direct a pass to keep, but it won't come off. Summer Trask reading the pass very, very well. But Wallhead, in the same instance, guides it forward to Goodsmith. Barbieri and Tain going at it through the centre. It'll fall to Box Hill. Bocelli, Vlanic comes out with it, tries to go inside, asks for the handball, but it will be play on here. Murakami picks it up for Box Hill. Pantzopoulos will give chase here. Segacic goes out to Tartaglia. Westland on the volley. Forward to Pantzopoulos. She's got Barbieri for company in the box. Pantzopoulos drives. Cuts it back. Finds a teammate. But right in the way is Minarik for Box Hill. They'll clear the danger here. Pantzopoulos doing her best. The body seemed clear for me, to be fair. That tackle shoulder to shoulder, but deemed illegal by the fourth official.
I thought that was a great passage of play there by Panastopoulos there. She was able to find that teammate, but again, just the finishing touches there. Just needed that reward for effort.
One minute of added time this evening for South Melbourne to try and find an equaliser before half-time. They'll relieve the pressure for Box Hill, though, with that forward pass. Into the final minute of this first half for the home side. They'll look to click and clear the danger here. Segacic taking her time. She'll clear. Trask holding up the play well. Gets the ball, but it falls to Dalton. Last foray forward for South Melbourne here. They'll try and get possession up the field, try and equalise before the half-time break. Quick throw from Goodsmith, doesn't deliver. Vlanic, long, ball flicked on. Came off the header of a Box Hill player, so Segacic can pick it up. Pantzopoulos steals it from her hand. Segacic didn't have possession of the ball. She's gotten away with one there. Pantzopoulos got a foot to it before she was able to pick it up. You play those dicey games, you might get caught, but referee comes to save the day for Box Hill there. And once again, referee comes to the fore for Box Hill. They'll go into the sheds, 1-0 up at half-time. South Melbourne, a majority of the possession in that half. It'll be interesting to see how they come out of the sheds into that second half. They won't think they would have needed to score by the end of that half to become level, but they certainly will go into the sheds and regroup and try and make the most of this halftime chat and come out firing in the second half. Welcome back to Wembley Park. It's halftime here. Box Hill lead South Melbourne 1-0. It was an excellent strike by Eva Goodsmith right before halftime. Box Hill dominated in the shots category, but in terms of possession, South Melbourne were greater to the good in those, but none of the possession they held meant with any forays forward or really troubling Segacic in goals. Pantazopoulos had a great opportunity 1v1 to win possession high up the field, but Box Hill did relentless defending in thwarting that chance. As the players get ready for this second half, we'll look to see if they have made any second half substitutions. Ellie Curlis joins me here as my co-commentator at Wembley Park. Ellie, what did you make of that first half?
I thought it was a real defensive grind at the start. Both teams tried to find their flow, but as the half went on, I thought both teams opened up their attack. But Box Hill, I thought in the later stages of that half, they did a great job opening up forward. And with Erin Key, again, star of the show, kicking that first goal of the game. Yeah, I think coming into the second half, you just think that both teams would look to continue that attack mode.
We get started here. Pantazopoulos playing all the way back to Schmelzer in the back line. Vlanic will play forward. Schmelzer regains possession for South Melbourne. Murakami and Westland battling it out in the midfield here. Westland comes out with it, plays the ball forward to Dalton. Dalton with that earlier chance after Pantazopoulos won possession in the forward line. Couldn't quite finish it though. Barbieri tries to get a flick on. Paliwoda with the clearance for Box Hill. Still in possession for Box Hill. Flick on. Ball played forward. Pantazopoulos. Goodsmith at the top of the box. Ricochets out to Summer Trask. Well defended. Cleared by Tyne. Huffenden switching out to Barbieri on the wing. Tartaglia brings the ball down masterfully onto her chest and plays forward. Huffenden will give chase, control, play back to Geo Candy. They'll restart play. Out to Wallhead. Huffenden. Forward runs by South Melbourne. Overlapping run by Collier. She'll get forward and put enough pressure on Paliwoda to give South Melbourne the ball deep in their defensive half. Ball into the box. Cleared by Trask. Vlanic tidying up for South Melbourne. She'll gain possession. Strikes on goal. Whizzes past that back post. Segacic had to make sure of the shot. Had enough eye on goal. Vlanic to fire one off. Segacic out to Simpson. Can't quite control though. Collier with the throw. Collier. Dalton tries to flick it on, but it only goes as far as Tartaglia. Cleared by Box Hill. Huffenden. Wallhead. Vlanic. Minarek for Box Hill. Will use her body well. Be a free kick for Box Hill. Deep in their defensive half.
Great little battle by those two, and yeah, this is the thing that you'd expect to see in this second half is those one-on-ones.
Those 1-on-1s trying to win possession high upfield for South Melbourne. They're chasing the game now, so they can't sit back and wait for Box Hill to come to them. They really have to go to the ball. Dalton trying to control. Collier picks up possession into the 18-yard box. She can't quite keep it in, though. There's a war of attrition in the first half for both sides, trying to force their opponents into just making unforced errors or just sitting off. Now South Melbourne will have to look to really put some pressure on this Box Hill attack. Teen out wide to Trask. Bocelli inside. Clipped by Goodsmith. Pantazopoulos will come away with it. She'll look to switch. Forward run by Dalton once again. Segacic can just hold her space in her 18-yard box and pick up possession comfortably. She'll swing it out to Tartaglia. Simpson. Collier. Forward for South Melbourne to Dalton. She just has Paliwoda to beat there. She can go 1-on-1, but Paliwoda stands her up and wins possession comfortably to Simpson. Collier retreating for South Melbourne, doing the hard yards in defence to win it back for South. They'll come forward through Wallhead. Wallhead also a master of midfield. If she can just push herself forward, she might be able to give South Melbourne some meaningful possession up front. Pantazopoulos keeping possession. She's got 2 players to beat, though. She'll try and deliver. Trask will get enough on it just to clear the danger. And Paliwoda makes no mistake, and she clears for Box Hill.
Well, off that goes that ball. And I was going to say, Ollie and I joked about this last week. If on that side of the ground there, you better be covered by insurance there, because that ball's going to go everywhere.
Certainly, Canterbury Road is busy at this time. And if you got your car in the car park as well.
Absolutely not. Mine's on the opposite side of the road there.
Vlanich. Bocelli clears the danger. Pushed out of the park is Vlanich. Goodsmith will just take a moment. Barbieri. She'll turn. She's got time for company, though. She gives it a toe poke to pull it out of possession from Box Hill to Box Hill. Trask. Back to Minarik. She'll clear, but only as far as Goodsmith. Schmelzer tries to find Pantazopoulos, just on the wrong page with each other in those instances. Substitution for South Melbourne as we see Mindy Barbieri exit this front side, and we'll see a substitution for South Melbourne. Emily Roach will come into the centre of the park. A straight stop for Mindy Barbieri. Collier regains possession for South Melbourne. Haffenden. Dalton. Strong work by Dalton and Tartaglia going at it. Tartaglia wins that battle. Tartaglia. Pantazopoulos, can she keep pressing here? Try and force the mistake from Segacic. Wallhead into Roach. Roach keeping possession well. Wallhead dummies to the right. She'll look forward. Blanche getting forward this time. Swing and a miss from Minarik. Blanche will be able to keep it in. Can she win a corner? She keeps possession though. Forward throw. Pantazopoulos with the flick on. Cleared by Paliwoda. Schmelzer. Trask for Box Hill. Pushes it. Way past halfway. Haffenden swinging it out to Collier. Unable to control. Murakami, hard one for Tartaglia to control. It'll bounce to Westland. Westland has Roach. Slick play from Roach. Westland switches it out to Goodsmith. Tries to 1-2 with Pantazopoulos, but once again, not quite on the same page with that combination play at the 18-yard box.
This is what I was saying about that communication in the first half, and you could just see in that passage of play there, just that, again, that miscommunication by South Melbourne, and that's something they need to clean up.
The restart from South Melbourne. Trying to draw out Box Hill, but Box Hill quite content in holding in that deep block. They'll look to press now. They'll win possession. Simpson for Box Hill. Misreads that pass. Paliwoda gets it to Tartaglia. Box Hill come away with it still. Murakami. Tartaglia. Ball deemed out of bounds though. Box Hill just taking their time now, soaking up the minutes. South Melbourne seem to have the pendulum swung their way in this second half. Westland into Dalton, well cleared by Paliwoda. Box Hill, tough team to break down when they're in their deep block. Dalton to Westland. Schmelzer, ball into the box. Goodsmith! Segicic couldn't quite get a hand to it, but the header from Goodsmith couldn't quite go goal bound. Pantazopoulos with the quick throw to Ballhead. She'll play out to Heffenden. Very little room in behind for South Melbourne. Dalton putting the pressure on Tartaglia, and the late challenge there will probably... It's just a Stern talking to for Dalton. The late challenge, the shirt pull needed to be done because Box Hill are very, very tidy on that counter attack, and they needed to clear the danger, stop the play. Collier caught on the ball by Simpson. Collier once again. Handball there for Collier. Asking for the yellow card is Simpson, and Collier goes into the book. The first yellow card of the evening. Collier just dispossessed in that moment. She's trying to keep possession, try and start again, but just caught on the ball.
You think now that Collier would have to be careful here. She's played really well, and I think at that time, just the timing of that challenge was, I guess, unneeded there. Now she's got to be careful here.
Over the ball, Paliwoda goes! Gio Candy comfortable in the end, but it certainly looked goal-bound. They needed to be very, very astute on that catch. Gio Candy doing well in the end. Make it look easy. They had to be in position, well covering their goals. They were able to claim easily. Vlanic forward ball to Eva Goodsmith. Goodsmith on the lay back. It was there for the picking for South Melbourne, but nobody could get there in time. No Box Hill players, no South Melbourne players to really clean up on both ends of the stick in there. Minarik clearing. Keat, fancy footwork once again by the goal scorer. Goodsmith into Roach. Dalton. Goodsmith. Dalton once again. Ball into the box. Front post run from Panterzopoulos. Well cut out by Segicic. Formerly of the Western Sydney Wanderers. Segicic throws out to Simpson. Simpson. Too much on it for Bocelli though. Goodsmith with the hold-up play. Tracks had to recover. Vlanic just upping the intensity just a fraction, trying to get a bit of energy from her teammates. Roach picks up possession, tries to find a through pass for Panterzopoulos, but well cut out by Tartaglia. Westland regaining possession for South Melbourne. Panterzopoulos drifts past one, glides inside. Paliwoda with the clearance. A real captain's defensive work there by Paliwoda. Bocelli able to sidestep Vlanic. The recovering defender doing well to get back ball side and goal side. South Melbourne looking to press higher up the park. I'll go forward. Collier in prime position to start this attack for South Melbourne. She'll glide past Tartaglia. Collier into the box now. Can she deliver? Can't quite get enough around it to send it into the box. Well, that energy from Collier is what's needed for this South Melbourne to get this game back to parity as Bocelli is one-on-one with Vlanic. The run from Keat comes. Bocelli finds the opposite run of Simpson, who's offside by a margin. Absolutely delightful strike by Simpson. Unfortunately, though, for her, the offside flag ruins the celebration apart from the post. It's a real energy shift for South Melbourne. They're upping the tempo in their possession, trying to take it to Box Hill. And unfortunately, that's what happens when you go a goal down at Wembley Park. It's a real cauldron here as we look to the bench for Box Hill this time. Gabby Simpson will make way for Karina Todorova. Todorova will enter the park. She'll go up front centrally and Keat will drop back into the midfield. This time Collier inside. Steps on it, plays it out to Panterzopoulos, finds the forward run of Westland. Cleared by Murakami.
I'm really liking the energy from South Melbourne. It felt like they, in that first half, they looked a bit flat in the later stages, but they've really picked it up. As I say, can they find reward for effort here?
Panterzopoulos, Segicic able to read. Wind picking up here at Wembley Park. Nothing taken for granted as Vlanic heads up. Can she see the goal? Vlanic only whiskers past that back post. She saw Segicic at her front post. She thought, why not give it a try herself? She has scored from a corner in the past. I think that would have been a fantastic way to win possession up high. She had no one in the box for South Melbourne. She just thought she'll go for goal herself. Quick work from Paliwoda out to Tartaglia, but Tartaglia couldn't quite get a foot on it. Panterzopoulos to Westland. Westland on the turn, only as far as Tartaglia though for Box Hill. Keat trying to keep possession for Box Hill. It'll be a South Melbourne throw. Still 1-0 here to the home side at Wembley Park. Vlanic driving forward. Dalton. Incredible hold-up play, but just couldn't quite get the toe on that she needs. Minarek will pick it up. Keat driving forward. She's got lots of white shirts around her. She still tries to find the pass in Kawano. South Melbourne once again in possession. Lions' share of possession in this second half for South Melbourne. Needless to say, Box Hill's goal in that first half felt like it was against play. Roach doing well, tidy in the midfield. She's come on in this second half and given some life to this South Melbourne's side. Pantazopoulos delivers. Dalton with the dummy. She probably would have been better off taking the strike herself because Goodsmith had to overrun it. Tried to stick a foot out in the end but couldn't quite get anything on it. Once again, South Melbourne increasing the pressure on this Box Hill side. Fine balance between driving forward, playing the long ball, or drawing Box Hill out of position. Box Hill quite content in sitting in that low block as we go to the bench once again. As Emily Collier makes way for Taranto, Grace Taranto, and Heidi Dalton will make way for Nikki Furukawa. Justin Mikulev really going to his bench this evening. He has a plethora of substitutions he can make to change the game. South Melbourne certainly has the depth to create change and be dangerous going forward. It's just trying to find that right mixture for Justin Mikulev and his squad. Patience from South Melbourne. Thwarted by Vlanic's long ball, but Western will pick it up for South Melbourne. They'll look to play quickly through Taranto. She's come on in at right back position. Collier on a yellow card, so probably decided just to keep it from becoming a red. Roach can't quite control in the midfield. Vlanic gets the ball out to Goodsmith. Eva Goodsmith for South Melbourne. She'll play back to Wallhead. Lots of A-League presence in this South Melbourne squad. Now currently playing in the Senol NPLW with Vlanic into the box. Ball into early cross. No one once again for South Melbourne. The delivery from Vlanic has been superb all evening. No one in the box making the forward runs for South Melbourne to capitalise though. As Box Hill once again come away with it. South Melbourne really compact though in that transition moment. They know how deadly they are as Pantazopoulos looks to put pressure on Segacic. But Segacic with the quick feet gets it out to Minarek and they'll start again. South Melbourne just biding their time now, trying to find that balance of pressure and exposing themselves in the back line, and just that of pressure forces Segacic with the long pass out of play once again.
Great ball movement by South Melbourne. You could see they're trying to move that ball as quick as they can. And again, Box Hill just forcing that turnover there.
Goodsmith. Panthers Roach at the top of the box. Gets it to Westland. They'll be conscious not to give away a foul here, Box Hill. Westland turns on a dime. Tries to find Roach, but well cleared by Teen. Pearl Teen. Delivery from Taranto. Ball bouncing. Murakami with the defensive clearance for Box Hill. Tartaglia clearing for Box Hill this time. The relentless pressure from South Melbourne surely feels like they'll put one in the back of the net soon, but Box Hill holding firm their fortress here at Wembley Park, and clean sheet still intact. Teen back to Paliwoda. Kawano. Flick on, and Keat can't quite get anything from that high pressure. Vlanich. Wallhead. Heffenden out to Taranto. Furukawa can't quite keep it in for South Melbourne. They had a great season last year for South Melbourne before going down with a knee injury in the latter part of the season. So they'll look to make a dangerous inception into this South Melbourne team. Nikki Furukawa, hailing from Canada. Getting the minutes in their legs. Goodsmith forward. Pantasopoulos giving chase. Minarik has to clear the danger to the sideline for Box Hill. Schmelzer into Goodsmith. Murakami giving chase to Goodsmith. She'll go back to Wallhead. Heffenden, if she can switch it out to Taranto. But she'll play through the middle to Roach. Can't quite get it on the turn. Murakami sees the run of Bocelli. Vlanich glides past, trying not to commit the foul. Murakami inside for Box Hill. Plays to a fellow Japanese national teammate in Kawano. Go all the way back here, Box Hill. They'll play under pressure though. South Melbourne really changing tactics after the half. Really stepping up the pressure to Box Hill. Not comfortable with this 1-0 scoreline at halftime. Justin Mikulev has really put the pressure on his Chargers to go out there and reclaim this game. Taranto. Forward to Furukawa, that ran out of room. Ran out of real estate in that corner. Furukawa trying to do her best to keep possession for South Melbourne. No calls for handball from referee. Will be a South Melbourne throw. Murakami battling it out with Roach, deemed illegal.
And again, just those turnovers for South Melbourne, that's probably the first proper mistake there for South Melbourne. They won't be happy with that, but I think this is where South Melbourne need to keep applying that pressure, not drop their heads here.
Certainly have changed the game in the second half, really taking it to Box Hill. After the home team went 1-0 to the good by an absolutely stunning strike from their top goal scorer this season in Erin Keat. Teen doing well in the middle of the park. Pearl Teen trying to find the run of Keat, but this time Geo Candy picking up the pieces for South Melbourne. They really haven't had much to do, Geo Candy, in goals for South Melbourne. She couldn't do much for that corner from Box Hill. Ball landed right at Erin Keat's feet, and she just, on the half turn, stuck it in the top corner. Wallhead nearly caught in possession. Can they use this pressure from Box Hill for themselves, South Melbourne? Pantasopoulos glides past the tackle of Minarik. Inside, Pantasopoulos keeps possession, but once again, Box Hill with the numbers behind the ball to clear the danger. Vlanic giving chase. She'll pick up possession here. Can someone be in the box this time for South Melbourne? Taranto. Westland. Westland with the theatrics, trying to win her team a free kick, but turned away by referee, waved away.
You can just see Box Hill then, again, like they're applying that pressure. They are not allowing South Melbourne to get any easy possession here.
Taranto for South Melbourne. Schmelzer back out to Taranto. She'll go through Heffenden. Heffenden driving forward. Playing the long ball to Furukawa, but too much on it. Problem is for South Melbourne that Box Hill is sitting so deep in their defensive half that there's really no space for South Melbourne to use in behind their defence. As we see tonight's goal scorer in Erin Keat making way for substitute Grace Norbury. Grace Norbury will enter the centre of midfield. She can play at centre back as well as Westland turns on it. Grace Taranto will give chase. She'll do her best to try and keep that in, Grace Taranto, but this second half substitute trying to use those fresh legs for the good for South Melbourne, but ended up just being a goal kick for Box Hill. Schmelzer with the clearance. Grace Norbury trying to get her first touches of the game in the centre of the park for Box Hill. She'll apply the pressure to Schmelzer. Vlanic. Vlanic forward. Lovely touches by Teen. Pearl Teen through Norbury. They'll come out the other side in Kawano. Kawano tackled by Taranto. Help to her feet gracefully. Another substitution, this time for South Melbourne, as we see Heffenden Lana Byrne will come in, playing up front. Playing in the centre-back position for Annie Heffenden, as we see Grace Taranto pushing up into the front line. Nothing like a back-to-front transition there for Grace Taranto. Going from the heart of the defence up top. Justin Mikulev trying everything to change this game, to change his team's fortune. Alana Byrne going long. Parbury well positioned. Paliwoda well positioned for that for Box Hill. Vlanic just giving cover to Gio Candy there. Candy with the throw. Candy Gio with the throw. Goodsmith forward. Pantazopoulos giving chase, pushing Minarik into a clearance to the touchline.
Can you see South Melbourne? They were trying to find that attack, but again, great pressure by Box Hill.
Aubrey out to Burchelli. She can see Kawano on the opposite flank. She can't quite get the ball to her. She's been asking for the switch all day, Burchelli, but she turns provider on that occasion, forcing South Melbourne all the way deep into their attack. Box Hill will look to soak up a couple of minutes here with this throw. And referee will indeed give a yellow card for time wasting. Roach plays Westland. Westland driving forward into Taranto. Good combination play through Roach there, but the deflection couldn't quite fall to a teammate in Pantazopoulos.
Off that ball goes there, over the fence there.
Paliwoda cleared for Box Hill, only as far as Wallhead for South Melbourne. Roach and Teen battling it out in the middle of the ball, falling to Roach. Another excellent challenge by Teen, this time one. Through ball, Taranto giving chase. Paliwoda on the double, cleared by Minarik. Increase in pressure there for Justin Micallef's Chargers. He's really asking them to push players forward. Incredible amount of changes, both left and right wingers swapping. Right back to central striker. Vlanic with the delivery on this one. She can score an Olympico. Vlanic, back post, well punched by Segicic this time. Unfortunately for her, she does give away another corner, though. She'll just have to go one more to the good. Keep this clean sheet for the home side. Still 1-0 here at Wembley Park. Pantazopoulos this time, back post run. Taranto underneath it. Minarik with the clearance. South Melbourne still have possession though. Kawano down in the middle of the box for Box Hill. Referee will pull it up for a free kick. South Melbourne pushing forward, applying the pressure. Trask goes all the way back to her keeper. The clearance, not a comfortable one, but it gets some distance. Roach will pick it up for South Melbourne, former Western United player in the A-League, now playing in the Senol NPLW. Was playing for the Stallions in the Philippines. Also played in the Champions League opening rounds with the Stallions. Schmelzer forward to Pantazopoulos. Well-timed challenge by Tartaglia. Pantazopoulos with the pressure. The backwards pressure regains possession for South Melbourne. Vlanic will put a foot on it, try and calm things down for her side, try and create some opportunities. This time Tartaglia reads the play really well. No meaningful possession though for Box Hill. Schmelzer on the half turn, cleared by Tyne. Westland, Taranto, Pantazopoulos stays on side. She'll turn in the 18. Can she get a ball in? Not this time, as Sekicic picks it up for Box Hill. Segicic long. Lana Byrne will take the throw for South Melbourne. South Melbourne into a 3 at the back. Trying to push numbers forward. Trying to create something. Wallhead giving chase. She's doing the double runs. Offside flag goes up late for Box Hill.
You could see what Warhead was trying to do there, trying to get one of her teammates to come forward, but just unfortunate there with that offside.
Paliwoda into Murakami. Norbury on the turn, finds Burchelli. Once again, Burchelli trying to find that pass into Norbury, but perhaps just Norbury thinking that it wasn't for her. Final 5 minutes of regular time here for Box Hill. Can they get a second to break the hearts of South Melbourne fans across Victoria? They'll look to play quickly here, South Melbourne. There are no time to waste. Gio to go long. They're looking for their teammate in Furukawa. They'll give chase. Once again, Gio with possession. She'll throw short to Wallhead. You can really sense the pressure that South Melbourne are under to try and find this equaliser. Box Hill just thwarting their advances with some clever defensive play. Murakami switches it out to Kawano out on the left wing. They'll be in no hurry here to deliver. They'll keep possession. Offside, though, for Kawano in the corner for Box Hill. Perhaps not on the same page in terms of keeping possession, try and soak up the minutes of the clock.
Great run there by Kawano. Just she'll be disappointed with that, but she shouldn't drop her head in that right there.
Gio out to Wallhead. Lanich finds the run of Goodsmith to Roach. Westland.
And that Box Hill defence, they were happy with that. You could just see that communication there down the field. Great effort there by the Box Hill defenders.
They're doing a great job this evening in really keeping their defensive lines compact, not allowing South Melbourne to play in between, putting enough pressure on the ball to ensure that South Melbourne are only gifted the long opportunities, which really haven't troubled Segacic in goals tonight. Roach. Long pass there from Todorova. Will still soak up the minutes. Box Hill will have an opportunity to press higher up the park here. Unlikely that they will, though. Just under 3 minutes left to play in regular time. Furukawa can't quite keep it in for the long pass of Gio. Wallhead goes all the way back to Gio. Long pass. Flick on from Roach, only as far as Murakami. Smart work from Box Hill to keep possession. Burchelli will keep it in. No No chances taken for the Box Hill midfield. The more time they soak up in putting the ball out of play, the less time South Melbourne have to try and play. They'll go long here once again, South Melbourne, pushing players forward. Trask with the header, but 2 hands in the back of Roach, deemed illegal. Goodsmith plays short to Roach. Roach, late challenge there by Teen. She'll play advantage. Vlanic, ball in the box. Not falling to anyone in a white shirt, though, as Grace Norbury collects for Box Hill and clears the danger. Quick throw by Vlanic. Goodsmith, she'll bypass. Goodsmith with the strike, but maybe in two minds whether to play the ball to Pantazopoulos at the back post or go herself. Went straight down the centre to neither. Segacic with the clearance now for Box Hill. Three minutes of added time here at Wembley Park as we see South Melbourne with this dying stages free kick. They'll look to pile numbers into the box. Alana Byrne to take. Throwing numbers forward here is South Melbourne. Alana Byrne does have Goodsmith. Byrne with the strike. Flick on. Segacic clears. Pantazopoulos on the follow-up. Can't quite keep it down. New ball called from the referee.
There's plenty of time here left in this game, but this is where you've got to take quick opportunities if you were South Melbourne.
Really look to push forward. Box Hill clearing their defensive line. Segacic with the long goal kick. Cleared by Schmelzer. South Melbourne, chaotic, trying to get the ball as quickly forward as they can. A little bit of confusion at the back. Do they have time to deliver the late blow, the late show, the late equaliser? Box Hill doing their best to keep themselves ahead by 1 goal. The late line call of offside will give some reprieve to South Melbourne as they throw every number forward possible. Pushing numbers up. Alana Byrne with the clearance forward. Tartaglia with the clearance over the line. Cleared by Murakami. Box Hill holding strong. South Melbourne trying to deliver a late blow for the home team. Pantazopoulos delivers. Numbers in the box. Back post for Akawa and Vlanic. Almost getting in each other's way, but clearing both at the back post.
Gee, that shot looks good. That looks perfect. Just unfortunate not to get the angle there.
Vlanic has been asking for people to be in the box all night with her delivery, and she had an opportunity to put one in the back of the net off a Pantazopoulos delivery. She couldn't quite make the distance. Goodsmith goes wide. Tartaglia. Pantazopoulos back to Byrne. Forward to Taranto. Can she deliver? Clearance by Kawano this time. South Melbourne trying to restart the game, and that's the final whistle here at Wembley Park. The first half volley from Erin Keat. The only goal that can separate the two sides this evening. What a phenomenal match we've had, and a display of phenomenal skill, not only from Erin Keat, but also So many players out there tonight in this Senol NPLW round 5 fixture. Ellie, what did you think of the match?
I just thought that second half was a grind. I know that first half was defensive effort. That second half, that was a grind. Both teams putting their bodies on the line, really taking risks. But I thought South Melbourne had a better second half there. But again, credit to Box Hill. Their defensive pressure when it mattered, they certainly stepped up.
Thanks so much for joining me, Elliot. My name's Melissa Barbier. It's been an absolute pleasure bringing this round 5 clash to you this evening. It's been an absolute pleasure. Final score here at Wembley Park. Box Hill 1, South Melbourne 0.